Do you expect electrolyser manufacturers going bankrupt this year or in the next 5 years? Is it a tricky market?
Seen a immediate slowdown of electrolyser manufacturers. So that's definitely something we've seen the back end of last year and the beginning of this year. I wouldn't necessarily say there's a stop, but it's definitely a foot off the accelerator, and also looking at their areas of production, looking at low cost areas of production, for example. So there's a change, but I would say it's a stall. And if we look at, like we've talked about throughout this webinar, the market's still there. It might not be the massive gigawatt projects being announced, but even to just decarbonise the current industries, the market's still there. So I think it's just a lull. We're seeing a lot of political upheaval at the moment. People are pushing back investment based on that. So yeah, there's definitely a stall, but not a stop.
Thank you, Leanne. And Deepak, as Rob said earlier, your boots on the ground in the hydrogen electrolyser business. So I suppose, is the cream going to rise to the top?
Yeah, so very interesting question, actually. So I have a little different opinion on this one. The electrolyzer manufacturers, I would ask the question, how many of the electrolyzer manufacturers are posting profits in last couple of years? I would say most of the electrolyzer manufacturers are in red. And I'll be very honest, if you are selling a product, not a complete solution, but a product, and if somebody buys that product and it does not make that CapEx sense or IRR sense, how would they buy from you, right? The project has to make sense, even though you're trying to sell your product. So based on 2024 and 2023 financial results from different companies, we are hearing news from different electrolyzer manufacturers. They are kind of doing the replanning, that how they're gonna rearrange everything to cut the cost, how they're gonna lay off the workers, how they're gonna decrease their capacity on all that. Because I would say we need to think about a complete solution to the client for them to go ahead with FID. The announcements are not gonna kind of help surviving this market. I think in this year we're gonna see a lot of consolidation and lot of people going out of the business completely, because people thought that there are huge subsidies and we can sell that number of electrolyzers. But that's not true. Projects have to make sense. Only then people gonna put money and the project's gonna go forward. So for electrolyzer manufacturers, I would say yes. Many of them, if they keep putting the losses in front of their investors, yes, the day is not far. They're gonna run out of money, and some of them will go out of the business. And to be very honest, it happens in all kinds of industries, whether oil and gas or EVs or anything. You will see these kind of examples everywhere. You have to have the right business model to survive in any industry, and same is true for green hydrogen industry.